What's up, everyone? Welcome to another live edition of Carolina Panthers Talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram, coming at you here on the YouTube. So, more breaking news. More injuries for the Carolina Panthers, and yet another player's season has come to an end. Carolina Panthers cornerback Dante Jackson suffered a groin injury in the Miami Dolphins loss this past Sunday and has been put on injured reserve, and he will not finish out the rest of the season, the remaining 5 games. So, that's our 2 starting cornerbacks, both out for the season. J.C. Horn from earlier this year, and now Dante Jackson. Whew. Yeah. So, the other day it was Christian McCaffrey. Now it's Dante Jackson. And, of course, this is Dante Jackson's contract year, as he will become an unrestricted free agent at the end of the season, which is going to pose a lot of questions. And I know one of the main ones has been, do we re-sign Dante Jackson? Let's talk about it. Dante Jackson, who's not a bad player. But sometimes has been a liability, especially on the deep ball. And these past 2 games, Washington, Miami, he hadn't played well. Let's just keep it real. He hadn't played well. I know he's capable of making plays. But something that we have to think about is his time up in Carolina? Now, don't get me wrong. I feel like he has grown into a leader. I will say that. Took a little bit of time, but I will say he's grown into a leader. And I'm sure Coach Matt Rule loves him. He's an LSU guy. But I think this is going to be a scenario where we will most likely move on from Dante Jackson because of who we have. Hey, Ace. How you doing? Well, that might have been Dante's last game as a Carolina Panther. Yeah, I think it's a good chance that it might indeed be his last game. Because, with no Dante Jackson, we still have to remember who we have. We have Stefan Gilmore. We still have A.J. Bouye. We have C.J. Henderson. We have Keith Taylor, who's been rising the ranks. We have Troy Pride, but I don't think Troy Pride is good, to be honest with you. We have STO the third. We still have Rashawn Melvin. So, and we'll be getting J.C. Horn back, at least for next season. So I don't truly think that losing Dante Jackson will be that big of a deal for our secondary. But at the same time, like I said, if anything, with our secondary, the safety position really needs to be addressed. But I think with the upcoming games after this bye, I think it's safe to say we're gonna see a lot more C.J. Henderson. We're gonna see a lot more Keith Taylor. We're gonna see a lot more A.J. Bouye. Stefan Gilmore, his snaps may probably increase. Maybe Rashawn Melvin as well. But at least I think it's safe to say the snaps for A.J. Bouye, C.J. Henderson, and Keith Taylor are going to drastically increase. And maybe even Stefan Gilmore. So, I mean, when we have both of our, 1 and 2 cornerbacks and Jackson and Horn out, I mean, that's what we got to resort to. It's going to be interesting. Also, wanted to note that they've activated guard Deontay Brown, which I know that was somebody that a lot of people were wondering about, as far as giving him a shot. Well, he's designated to return from IR. So it looks like, just like Phil Hoskins got his shot, it looks like maybe eventually Deontay Brown will get his shot before the end of the season. But, Dante Jackson, I mean, it's a big loss. I mean, he's a good player, but we have to look at what we have and what we can build off of. And I feel like, if we let him walk at the end of the season, I don't think it'll be too big of a deal if we let him walk. Because like I said, this is his last year on his rookie contract. And, it's just, it's a business thing. But he will finish this season with a final stat of, let's see, 61 total tackles, 50 of them being solo tackles, 1 forced fumble, and 2 interceptions. Those are his final stats for this year. 61 tackles, a forced fumble, 2 interceptions. He has 12 total interceptions in his career as a Carolina Panther. 208 tackles, a sack, a fumble recovery, 2 forced fumbles. I mean, he's young, still has a lot of years left for sure, but I can definitely see us moving on from Dante Jackson. It sucks, but, there's going to be a lot of business moves we're going to have to make. Also, there was something that I wanted to look more into. I checked out some of the Panther Nation podcasts earlier today. Shout outs to Rashad and Dave. And it made me have to look up some things in regards to Christian McCaffrey. Check this out, y'all. He made some good points. Let me check this out. Ace says, this has been the most problematic year for us, man. 2018 was brutal too, and of course 2016. This is true. But y'all, check this out. I had to kind of catch myself after looking at this. So if we were to trade Christian McCaffrey, that would be $26 million in dead cap that we would have to eat. If we trade him next year, that's $12 million in dead cap. I don't know, y'all. We might want to pull back on the thought of trading Christian McCaffrey. Even I may have to rescind that, because that's a lot of dead cap, y'all. That's a lot of dead cap we would be eating up. Because we got to remember, Christian McCaffrey's on a $64 million contract over the course of 4 years. Now, I understand that we did he took a pay cut. We restructured the contract. But y'all, to be specific, $26,638,000 in dead cap. That's a lot, y'all. That's a lot. I don't know if we can afford to trade Christian McCaffrey unless another team is willing to eat up that contract and we get something of equal value to help take care of that dead cap along the way. But I mean, even if we traded him in, 2023, that's still $12,828,500 in dead cap. I don't know. Hey, the Happy Gamer, what's up? Good to see you. Yeah, I don't know about trading Christian McCaffrey now, y'all. I gotta take back what I said. That's too much dead cap. 26 million, that's too much dead cap. So we're probably gonna have to ride out Christian McCaffrey's contract, y'all, regardless of what happens. If he gets hurt again and whatnot, we're probably gonna have to ride out his contract. Because I feel like trading him away, I think we eat a much bigger penalty. Especially if we don't get something of value or equal in return. The Happy Gamer says CMC is the best player on their team. There's no way they're trading him. Is it me or are the Panthers just getting worse with their injuries? I mean, they are piling up. They are piling up. I mean, we just lost Dante Jackson. Both our number 1 and number 2 cornerbacks are out this year. So yeah, they're piling. They're piling up for sure. But no way they're trading him. Yeah. Like after looking at this information, Happy Gamer, I don't think it's a good idea to trade him. And my last video, the previous video, I was considering it. But after going back and looking at this, and like I said, shout out to the Panther Nation podcast, Rashad and Dave. When they mentioned about this information, I had to take a look at it myself. But yeah, I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea. That's too much dead cap. And then when you think about it, take a look at this. The cap hit itself would be $14,309,500. And in 2023 and 2024, the cap hit would be $17,709,500. So that's huge. That's huge. The Happy Gamer says, I think Cam Newton came in too late to bring this team from the dead. Yeah, if anything, I think the more I think about it, this was Coach Matt Rule's last-ditch effort to try to save the season and save his job. Because, I mean, when you look at it, it's hard to expect a quarterback to just come in and just be on fire, only having, 3 weeks or less of the playbook. That's too difficult for anyone. That's too difficult for anyone. So, yeah, that's too difficult for anyone. So, yeah, this is tough. This is really tough. But like I said, I think with Dante Jackson, I think I could see us letting him walk. It sucks. He's a good player. He has been a liability, but he's also been capable of making plays, and he's done that. I mean, 12 interceptions in his 4-year career so far, that's not bad. That's not bad. So it's just rough. It's just really rough. What do you think when the Panthers came out and destroyed the Cardinals, then lost to the Washington football team? I mean, the Washington football team loss was mainly on the defense. That was mainly on the defense because the offense played fine. Cam Newton had no turnovers, and he threw for 2 touchdowns, ran for 1. So, if anything, that loss was on the Carolina defense. And then the Miami game, just everything was off. Offense, defense, special teams, everything just imploded. I mean, maybe the worst out of the 3 was the offense, but really, I mean, all 3 did bad. All 3 did bad. Ace says if they were going to trade CMC, they would have already done it for Deshaun Watson when it was rumored. But would that still answer the dead cap situation, though? That's the thing that it comes down to. Would that have still answered the dead cap situation, though, Ace? That's the only thing. Because that dead cap is going to really be what hits the most. So, I don't know. Maybe. But, and then we also have to remember the trade demands that the Texans wanted. They wanted a couple of first-round picks, some young defensive players. I mean, which would have ended up being probably Jeremy Chin and maybe Brian Burns or another young stud. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just feel like it would have been a tough situation. And then us getting Deshaun Watson would have definitely split the fan base. Unfortunately, us getting Deshaun Watson, if we are able to get him, is going to split the fan base. So that'll be interesting in itself. Happy Gamer says the Texans would have made the Panthers pay off Watson's leftover cap. Yeah. And you got to remember, we still had to pay Teddy Bridgewater. We still have to pay Sam Darnold. And we still have to pay Cam Newton. So, money troubles. If you pick a young defensive player to trade for Deshaun, who would it be? I mean, that's tough. That's really tough. I mean, it would have to be at least like a Brian Burns, or a YGM, or maybe having to take the sacrifice and it being a Jeremy Chin, or shoot, even a Dante Jackson probably, but then again, if we were to trade Dante Jackson, we waited too late. Because now he can't be traded. His contract's expiring. So JC Jackson, they need a corner. Yeah, they do. Yeah, that's one thing that stands out. Texans definitely need help on defense. For sure. I mean, it showed in last season. But this offseason is really gonna This offseason is really going to say a lot of things. Because there's going to have to really be some critical moves made. Because ultimately, a lot is going to need to be invested in repairing this offensive line. And like I said, with Christian McCaffrey, we're going to have to ride his contract, y'all. We're going to have to ride his contract. Because from the information I pulled up, it's too costly to trade him. I hate to say it, but it's too costly to trade him. Not saying that, I'm a fan of the idea of trading him, but it costs too much to trade him. So we're going to have to ride that CMC contract. I mean, thankfully, we were able to restructure it when we did, but yeah. YGM and Dante, at least at the time, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. But I do see us, building up Keith Taylor, CJ Henderson, of course, J.C. Horn. I think Stefan Gilmore is worth keeping. I think he's worth keeping. And then AJ Bouye, yeah, why not? I think with just those guys, I think at least is a good start going into next season. Houston would probably push for Brian Burns because their front seven is dead. Yeah. Especially ever since losing J.J. Watt. Happy Gamer says, the NFC is still wide open for the Panthers. They only lost 7 games. They can still make the playoffs, but they have to win all their last games. And with Tampa, they're not going to get there. Tampa's still on their schedule. Twice. Yeah, we still got to play them twice. It's Atlanta, Buffalo, Tampa, Saints, Tampa. And we'd have to have some sort of miracle, and we have to win out. We have to win out. I mean, thankfully, we're still undefeated in the NFC South games we've played, but we got to win out. And I don't see us winning out. With the type of games that we've played, especially recently, and the games that we've lost, I mean, we've only won 2 home games, and we have only 2 home games left in the season. So, honestly, even if we were somehow if we were able to win 3 games, I still don't think it's enough to keep Matt Rule. I don't think it's enough. 2, definitely not enough. They also released Whitney Mercilus. Oh, yeah, that's right. They did. That is true. Dang, they did release a lot of folks. The Happy Gamer says, I think Cam is a great player, but there's too much hype around him. I think he is kind of getting annoyed, and that might be affecting his play. Way too much hype for him coming back to Atlanta. I mean, I get it. After that Cardinals game, I get it. And even after the Carolina. Yeah. That's what I thought. That's what I thought you meant. Even after the Washington game, But then again, let's be honest. We got fans out there that look forward to seeing Cam mess up. I mean, they won't admit it, but there are plenty of fans out there that really could care less about how well Cam has done in his career. Carolina Jeff, what's up? Blitzball champ. To all the people who want us to tank, we might not even have to. We might just lose out. SMH. When it rains, it pours. Yeah, it's bad. Christian McCaffrey, now Dante Jackson, now both our number 1 and number 2 cornerbacks are out. Yeah, it's bad. And there's no telling which of the 5 games we even end up winning. I think all 5 of them are going to be tough. All 5. Ace says, my friend is a Texans fan, and he says that the fan base wants to trade Desean to us because, number 1, we're in the NFC, and number 2, because they really want Chin or Burns or maybe even both. I mean, shoot, those are good players to acquire. Those are really good players to acquire. So, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. Carolina Jeff, I know because you just popped in. So I was in Panther Nation podcast with Rashad and Dave earlier today, and Rashad made a really, really good point. Pulled up Christian McCaffrey's contract situation. If we were to trade him, we would be eating $26,638,000 in dead cap. Now, I know in the previous video, I was kind of, on board with the idea of a CMC trade, but honestly, that might not be a good idea because that's a lot of dead cap. And even if we were to trade him next year, that's still $12,828,500. I mean, that's still pretty critical. The cap hit by itself would be $14,309,500 this year. Next year, the next 2 years, it would be $17,709,500. Yeah, and that's just the cap hit alone. But the dead cap, that's too much, y'all. Oh, dear God. Yeah, that's way too much dead cap, bro. No way. Yeah. I mean, honestly, yeah, it's too much. Ace says, we have the 10th pick right now. If Eagles keep playing well, then we might have the 8th or 7th pick again. Yeah. Yeah, point well made. Yeah, the Eagles are kind of now starting to struggle a little bit. But yeah, we're going to have to ride out this CMC contract. Because that's way too big of a dead cap hit. Happy Gamer says, I'm a Pats fan, but my friends are Panthers fans, and they think the Panthers are done this season. I still think they can get to the playoffs. Did you see the way the teams played in the SNF? Do you mean NFC? Or Sunday Night Football. Gotcha. Sunday Night Football. I mean, yeah, the season's not statistically over yet, but we got to look at the strength of these last 5 games. I mean, the Bills, they're 7-4. The Bucks are 8-3, in which we have to play twice. The Falcons are 5-6, so a similar record to us. And the Saints are 5-6, a similar rank to us. It's going to be hard to win out. It's not impossible, but it's going to be hard to win out these remaining 5 games. Carolina Jeff says, I'm thinking maybe we draft a quarterback and use the remaining picks on offensive linemen. I do see us drafting a quarterback, but I really feel like we gotta go extra hard with a combination of free agency and the draft on O-line. We gotta go hard. We gotta go hard on the O-line. Happy Gamer says, I would stick with Cam. O-lineman should be their first round pick. Yeah, I would not be opposed to O-lineman in the first round. I mean, we came close to it, but I think O-lineman in the first round, I think, is a good idea. Because word is the quarterback class for this upcoming draft isn't as strong as this year's. This is what I've been told. I could be wrong, but it's what I've heard. Statistically, Joe Judge is a better coach than Matt Rule, and Judge is about to get fired. Just pitiful. I don't know. If things keep going the way they're going, shoot, Matt Rule might be getting fired. We might need a quarterback. Yeah, I think we should definitely consider drafting a quarterback. I think that's something we should consider. But I do believe top priority is O-line. Definitely top priority should be O-line. Yeah, if Cam gets hurt, which is like 80% chance. The Panthers also need a wide receiver. I don't know. I feel like for the offense, I feel like that might be at the bottom of the list. Because I mean, we have receivers. I can't say that I'm too hard on the receivers that we have. Let's see. Ace says, I say draft a quarterback in the first and build the offensive line and draft and free agency because O-line is really strong this year. Happy Gamer says, I don't think DJ Moore is a fit. I don't know, bro. He has over 4,000 yards receiving. I mean, I know his touchdowns aren't that much, but DJ Moore has over 4,000 yards receiving, and he's on his way to another 1,000 this season alone. DJ Moore's done his part. I have to disagree. DJ Moore, he's done his part. He's got over 4,000 yards receiving with us. So now Robbie, here's the thing with Robbie Anderson. I don't want to close the door on him yet. Specifically only because we have to remember Robbie Anderson did not have 1,000 yards receiving until he came to Carolina. He hasn't had 1,000 yards receiving until he came to Carolina. So I'm not quite ready to close the door on Robbie Anderson just yet. Not just yet. Carolina Jeff says, draft a quarterback now. It's going to take 2 or 3 years for him to develop. We don't have time to waste. Okay. He says, I agree with Robbie, but not DJ. Happy Gamer says, yeah, but you can look at it that way, or you can look at it in the way I see it. Watch his highlights and see how many catches he has given up and even interceptions. I mean, yeah, he does have some drops. He has some drops for sure. But he really hasn't done enough bad to warrant him to be removed from the team. He's done nowhere near close to bad enough to be let go. If anything, his worst was his rookie year, and that's mainly because he had fumble woes. But he's fixed those fumble woes. since that rookie year. Not to mention, we have to also look at it like this. Happy Gamer, remember, a lot of his yardage are what? Yards after catch, which a big proof of that is last season, because Teddy Bridgewater only completed 20 passes of 20 or more yards last season. So you best believe a lot of Robbie Anderson, Curtis Samuel, and DJ Moore's yardage were yards after catch. That's a big deal considering we don't throw deep that much. We don't. And it's unfortunate because we have an O-line that doesn't give us the time to throw deep. And the play calling. Joe Brady. Hey, what's up, James Aaron? Good to see you. I mean, and then you have to also look at it like this. Look at how many quarterbacks DJ Moore has played with. I mean, with him getting the 4,000 yards that he's gotten with the quarterbacks he's played with, that kind of says a lot. That says a lot. I mean, could you imagine if he had a Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson or Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen? Like, those numbers would be much, much higher. But he was able to get 4,000 with the quarterbacks that he's had? Ace says, you got to feel for Robbie. He was trapped on the Jets and has had nothing but mediocre quarterbacks his whole career. Unfortunately, facts. Happy Gamer, I'm not saying remove, but maybe like number 2 or number 3 wide receiver. The Panthers have enough trade power to go out and get themselves a big name wide receiver. But see, if he goes to another team and he does the same sort of thing and he blows up, how is it any different? I mean, statistically, DJ Moore has been our number 1. And I mean, you look at the past receivers that we've had. I mean, when you think about it, the last receiver that we've had that put up big numbers, honestly, was Greg Olsen, and he was at tight end. So, I mean, we still have the 5th year option on DJ. So, I'm sure he's frustrated. I'll say this: I'm sure he's frustrated, but DJ has done his job. He's done his job. And not to mention, he's been out there on that field. Had a few small injuries, but he's been out there on that field. And he's been our number 1. Like I said, the only thing that's really suffered is his touchdowns. He only has 14 touchdowns. He's got the yardage, just doesn't have the touchdowns. Same thing with Robbie Anderson, especially last season. Got the yardage, didn't have the touchdowns. But like I said, we got to look at coaching again, the play calling, and the offensive line. We don't get time to throw deep. So that's why a big percentage of that yardage is yak. So, and like I said, right now, DJ Moore has 66 catches, 854 yards, 4 touchdowns. Not to mention, he averages 12.9 yards a touch. So he averages a first down. That's kind of a big deal. He averages a first down. So, to me, Dante Jackson is not so good. It's just the Panthers aren't that good that he can look so good from the other mediocre cornerbacks they have. Well, it's like I said about Dante Jackson. I think he's capable of making big plays. I mean, which it shows that he's capable of making big plays. The dude has 12 career interceptions with our team. So, I mean, he is capable. Can he be a liability? Yes, because he's gotten burned before. I mean, dating all the way back to the Steelers game. Antonio Brown cooked him. Terry McLaurin cooked him. Jalen Waddle cooked him. Yeah, he may be a deep ball liability. But Dante Jackson, I mean, he's capable of making big plays. He has 12 interceptions. He got 2 this year. So, not to mention his rookie season, he got 4. He got 4 in his rookie season. Yes, 12 interceptions, but go take J.C. Jackson, third year, 24 interceptions. I mean, yeah, I get that. I get that. I mean, this is Dante's 4th year. I get that. But 12 interceptions, that's not bad. That's not bad. That could be a lot worse. As a matter of fact, hold on, let me check something. Let me check one thing. I mean, when you think about it, look at this. James Bradbury, who is a better cornerback. He's been in the league, what, 6 years now? And he only has 14 interceptions. He's got 14. So, I mean, and he's a better cornerback. I mean, I get it, but it's like, you know, we gotta look at the whole perspective of it. He has his weaknesses, yes. One thing I will say, he has grown into a leader. I will say that. He has definitely grown into a leader. It took some time, but he's grown into a leader. But 12 interceptions, that's not bad at all. Look at James Bradbury. He has 14, and he's been to a Pro Bowl, something Dante Jackson hasn't been to. So, can't wait until we get JC back. Oh, yeah. Because, you know, he was an immediate impact when he played. Heard Dante will be a free agent after this season. I'm 50-50 on him. Yes, that is correct. He will be an unrestricted free agent this season. That is correct. Jarrett Cole, what's up? Good to see you. They should have traded away Dante Jackson, but now we're getting nothing in return. Yeah, there were talks about doing that before the trade deadline, but you know we're gonna let him walk. We're gonna let him walk. So, I mean, it's last year of his contract, so I mean we're gonna let him walk. But one thing for sure that we definitely can't do is trade Christian McCaffrey. Like that might as well be off the table. That might as well be off the table. But yeah, it's tough. Because like I said, I like Dante Jackson, but it's looking like he's gonna be gone. It's definitely looking like he's gonna be gone. Because I feel like we have enough. Can you name one good player on the Panthers except CMC and Cam, and I guess DJ Moore, if he's really that good? I mean, shoot. I'd say Jeremy Chin, Brian Burns. I mean, those are two off the top of my head. I mean, I just named you two. I just named two. Brian Burns, Jeremy Chin, Hassan Reddick. I mean, we have good players, Happy Gamer. Like we can't underestimate who we do have on our team. We can't underestimate that. James Aaron says, I don't think we should trade CMC either. Yeah. Ace says, I mean, Dante isn't a huge loss considering who we have. That's a good point. I mean, we have folks on the secondary. And yeah, I mean, Stefan Gilmore, that's a given. Stefan Gilmore, I mean, he's a Super Bowl champion cornerback. I mean, we have the players. We have a ton of good players, just bad coaches. Yeah. Like the coaching staff, that definitely needs to be fixed. But yeah, Ace, right on the money. Brian Burns, Frankie Louvu, Hassan Reddick, Keith Taylor, who's been rising the ranks, J.C. Horn, Stefan Gilmore. I mean, yeah, we have the talent. We definitely have the talent. I mean, one can argue maybe AJ Bouye. But yeah, Jeremy Chin, who should have been last season's defensive rookie of the year. Shaq Thompson, which he's evolving into a leader. And we already see what happens when we play a game with no Shaq Thompson. We've already seen what happens with that. Jarrett Cole says, should we extend Stefan Gilmore? Yes. Stefan Gilmore is a ginormous veteran presence on the secondary. He is who I would say is kind of similar to a Charles Tillman or a Roman Harper on our team. And you know how good Charles Tillman and Roman Harper were on the Panthers. So yes, Stefan Gilmore, yes, I would love to extend him. He's home. He's got years left. Yes, Brian Burns is our sack artist behind Hassan Reddick. I think it's the other way around, only because Hassan has more sacks, but it's this close. It's definitely close. You definitely love a combo like Brian Burns and Hassan Reddick. Happy Gamer says, here's why I don't think the Panthers are going to make the playoffs this year. They need three things. A good run game. That's one. They got that. A good passing offense, which they don't have. And a good defense. Good defense, their statistics, and they're allowed at least 24 points per game and 334 yards per game. Here's the thing, which you're making some good points there. Here's the thing. Our defense is on the field a lot more than the offense this season. And a good reason for that is because the offense hadn't really been pulling their weight. Especially starting game 4, that Dallas game. So the only thing that sticks out with the defense is I think they're getting more exposed now, especially since that. I mean, honestly, you could say ever since the Washington game, or maybe some are say give or take the Patriots or Giants game, but I think it was obviously clear from that Washington game that the defense really got exposed. Jeremy did get snubbed because the media had been hyping up Chase Young all season, even though statistically Jeremy did better. Yeah, he was super duper hyped. Yeah, but go to New England. They haven't either. They have the number one D in the league. New England, yeah, they're doing well this year. And right now, Mac Jones is cooking. They're 8-4. Mac Jones is cooking. So right now, Panthers are the six rate defense. But yes, New England is number one. But yeah, Carolina right now at six. They got bumped down to six. So still in the top 10, but they got bumped all the way down to the six. Um, my NFC shirt. Oh, my shirt. Oh, this is a Gundam wing shirt. Or do you mean my hoodie? This is my hoodie. But yeah, this is a Gundam wing shirt. Love the shirt. But well, that's because the offense is doing nothing. Defense is clearly gassed by the fourth quarter. True. Six, really? Yeah. Yeah, that's what it says. Yeah. NFL 2021 NFL defense rankings. Yeah. Six. Um, no excuse for that Washington game. Agreed. What about their last two games? Look at the scores for those. For Carolina or for New England? For Carolina? I mean, I understand the scores, but I'm telling you, this article was as of November 29th, which is yesterday, and they have Carolina at rank 6 on defense. Here, I'll even go through it with you. Starting from 20. They show the top 20. So at 20, it's Chicago, 19 Cincinnati, 18 Tennessee, 17 Kansas City, 16 Miami, 15 San Francisco, 14 New Orleans, 13 Los Angeles Rams, 12 Denver Broncos, 11 Cleveland Browns, 10 Tampa Bay, 9 Philadelphia Eagles, 8 New York Giants, 7 Indianapolis Colts, 6 Carolina Panthers. Last week they were ranked fourth. They were ranked fourth last week. Top 5: Green Bay at 5, Dallas at 4, Buffalo at 3, Arizona at 2, New England at 1. Hey, now I'm sure the overall power rankings, are probably a whole different story. But I mean, that's what this article says. As of now, Carolina's defense is ranked 6. It was ranked 4 last week, but it got bumped down 2 spots. Um, yeah, gave up 30 points. A says put that mainly on the offense because defense was getting turnovers and making them punt the ball, but offense was doing nothing. I mean, yeah, that's a thing too. And you have to also remember we've been in many situations where we've won the turnover game but still lost the game. Prime example, Minnesota last season. And that's just from last season. But we've won the turnover battle before and still have lost the game. So, I mean, that's the only thing. I mean, shoot, we didn't have any turnovers in the Washington game. We didn't have any turnovers. We had one takeaway, but we didn't have any turnovers in the Washington game. Shoot. If we can, if they can get a quick start, what are you going to do then? You bench Cam, and what did that do? Nothing. So I mean, might just be their game plan. I mean, yeah, that's a good point because we put PJ in, and he got sacked twice, and also threw a pick. So I mean, actually, no, correction. He got sacked 4 times. Cam got sacked once. PJ got sacked 4 times. So it's not just on Cam. And not to mention, PJ only had 5 completions as well. Jared Cole says, should we make CMC more of a wideout to shorten his carries for health-wise? Like a slot? Yeah. And a couple of people, including Nathan John, and I think a few others, have suggested CMC put him in the slot. So, but I mean, when it comes down to it, that's up to the play caller, offensive coordinator. Joe Brady has to be willing to do that. Joe Brady has to be willing to strategize and actually utilize that as an option, but he doesn't. That's on Joe Brady. That's not on CMC. That's on Joe Brady. Yeah, I do believe when PJ was put in, it was definitely too late because low low QBR. That is true. And then we have to remember there were like a good 7 or 8 tipped passes that took its toll on Cam's completion percentage. Not only that, there were dropped catches as well. There were drops. So a combination of that plus 7 or 8 batted passes at the line, yeah, that's going to tear up your completion percentage. That's definitely going to tear up your completion percentage. Yeah, we're on a bye this week. Could end up like Tampa Bay last year or Seattle this year. You either lose the games or win the games. Depends on what the players do for their bye. And the thing that sucks is Matt Rule already said that he has no plans on doing any sort of personnel coaching changes or anything like that over this bye. I mean, yeah, with Dante Jackson on IR, we just activated guard Deontay Brown. So he's scheduled to get off of IR and play. So we may see Deontay Brown in the lineup. We'll see. James Aaron, we got Atlanta next. Yes. After this week, we come out of the bye at home against Atlanta. So, well, there's your problem. Yeah. Yeah. Matt Rule to Notre Dame a possibility. Oh yeah, because their coach is about to go to what was it, LSU or something like that. He's about to go somewhere. I think it was LSU. I could be wrong. Because Notre Dame's coach, I think, is getting ready to go to LSU. So Matt Rule to Notre Dame, interesting. If anything, Joe Brady for sure, 100 million gajillion percent should be gone after this season. He should be gone. Seriously, he should be gone. He really should be gone. Joe Brady has no idea what he's doing at all. No idea. He has no idea what he's doing. But yeah, this is going to be a very interesting offseason. It's going to be a very interesting offseason. But we got a lot to fix. Kick Matt Rule. Who are you gonna get? Jason Garrett? Shoot, nah, I wouldn't say that. Not as head coach. No. I'd rather have like a. I would have loved to have gotten Eric Bieniemy or Kevin Stefanski. I mean, shoot, Kevin Stefanski, first year on the Browns, he took that team to the playoffs and got a playoff win. Shoot. Deshaun Watson has always been a possibility this offseason. Well, all I know is if we get him, get ready for a split fan base. You know the fan base is going to be split right down the middle if we end up landing Deshaun Watson. And honestly, if we some way somehow get Deshaun Watson, then that kind of sort of kills the idea of drafting a quarterback, wouldn't you say? I feel like if we were to get him, that would kind of kill the idea of drafting a quarterback. But but and then the Dolphins. Yeah, the Dolphins were a big contender to get him. But I think we'll have to see what happens. Right now, the Dolphins are on a 4-game winning streak, so we'll have to see what happens with them. Tua's been playing really well. He's been playing good football, and Jalen Waddle, a couple of others. They've won four in a row. So they might have put themselves in the hunt. So we'll have to see what happens. And if they were to get to the playoffs, shoot. That'll be a big deal for Miami. Which cornerback should take Dante Jackson's spot as a starter? Who? So if no J.C. Horn, no Dante Jackson, they're going to have to shuffle some folks around. It's probably going to have to be he doesn't play as many snaps, but Stefan Gilmore might be a possibility, especially going up against the top receiver. Going up against the top receiver, I don't know if Keith Taylor's ready, nor CJ Henderson. So it's like Stefan Gilmore, that's tough, Derrick. That's tough. What do y'all think? With J.C. Horn and now Dante Jackson out, who are your number 1 and number 2 cornerbacks that you roll with for the rest of this season? That's actually a good question, Derrick. Derrick Cole's question: which cornerback should we put to replace Dante Jackson at starter for the remainder of this season? What do y'all guys think? I'm thinking maybe see what we can get out of Stefan Gilmore Or, I mean, Keith Taylor or AJ Bouye possibly, but I don't know. That's tough. That's really tough. James Aaron says AJ and Stefan. Okay. AJ Bouye, Stefan Gilmore. Yeah. Now, would you have AJ covering the number one or Stefan covering the number one? Ace says Stefan Gilmore and Keith Taylor at the 1 and 2 with Bouye on the slot and Jeremy helping out Keith. Okay. No CJ Henderson? No CJ Henderson? Ooh, James Aaron has AJ Bouye covering the number one. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Interesting. All right. Jarrett Cole says AJ the number one, Gilmore number two. Okay. And I oh, Happy Gamer says Stefan definitely covering the number one, no doubt. Oh, so he's putting Stefan Gilmore covering the number one. Okay. Dang, nobody vouching for CJ Henderson. But I will say, Keith Taylor has definitely been rising up and taking on some tough tasks. So I got to give him credit. But it'll be interesting. You know what? I'm curious. Let's look at the depth chart. I'm curious. Oh, as a matter of fact, y'all, on the Panthers.com website, team depth chart, they actually have on the depth chart, Stefan Gilmore covering the left cornerback, AJ Bouye covering the right, and then coming behind Stefan Gilmore will be CJ Henderson. Coming behind AJ Bouye would be Rashawn Melvin. And then coming behind Rashawn Melvin, Keith Taylor. So yeah, they got the first two being Stefan Gilmore, AJ Bouye on their depth chart. I think Jarrett Cole says no, Stefan Gilmore is not healthy enough to cover number one. I don't know. They got him on the depth chart. They got him up there on the depth chart. So and the thing is, I mean, as far as healthy, I mean, what's really been shown so far that he's not healthy? I mean, he's played ever since we got him. So I mean, and not only that, he has 2 interceptions since he started playing with us. So I mean, he had one scare, but then came back out and played. So I mean, we're gonna have to do something. We're gonna have to look. We limited his snaps when Dante was playing. Dante's out now. We're gonna have to turn. We're gonna have to turn it up. We're gonna have to turn it up. All right, Happy Gamer. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for stopping by and chatting. Much appreciated. Ace says CJ Henderson covers the tight ends while Jeremy helps Keith out. CJ has the length and speed to hold tight ends in check, and he did it very well in college. Gotcha. Nice breakdown. But yeah, I mean, we're probably gonna have to take a chance on Stefan Gilmore. I mean, we got him for a reason. He's our most experienced cornerback. He's our veteran. I mean, if we have any last-ditch effort to try to make the playoffs, we're going to have to go with our best out there. And Stefan Gilmore made an immediate impact as soon as we got him on the field. So, I mean, we're going to have to go in. We're going to have to go in. And that's why, I mean, even on their depth chart, they got Stefan Gilmore and AJ Bouye. And honestly, it makes sense. It makes sense. And not to mention, let's not take away the veteran presence of AJ Bouye. That man has 9 years in the league. Stefan has 10. I mean, he hasn't played many snaps because of his quad injury. Well, I mean, but you see the impact that he makes. I mean, if you're in there playing, if you're on the field playing, then you got to step up. If it was a big deal, he wouldn't be playing, but he's playing. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you're wrong, but he's playing. He's been playing ever since they activated him. So, I mean, we gotta do what we gotta do. But he's been playing out there on that field. So I mean, if it was a big enough issue, he wouldn't be playing. But that's not the case. So, I mean, we're gonna have to go in. I mean, unless you want to go with Rashawn Melvin, which he's kind of struggled, but he's also a veteran as well. But I mean, I can see why they're on the depth chart where they're at. I mean, after all, Keith Taylor is a rookie, but he's been playing pretty well. Super Trebo, what's up? Hey Jason, I'm on my lunch break. Work right now. Just heard the news. Dante. Looks like the big tank is just cruising down the road more and more. No tank. No tank. But nah, it's looking like we're probably going to move on from Dante Jackson at the end of the season. I'm thinking that's probably going to happen. Rashawn got killed by Brandon Cooks. Hey, so remind me what game that was in. What game was that in? Was it the Saints game? Not the Saints game. Or was it the Saints game? Remind me what team Brandon Cooks is on. The Saints, right? Or I'm way off. Yeah, remind me what game that was. Oh, Houston. Wow. I'm way off. Houston, game 3. Gotcha. Thank you. Thank you for correcting me. Yeah, that now that I look back at it, yeah, Brandon Cooks had 9 receptions, 112 yards. Yeah, he did get cooked. Uh, what is the injury report of Dante Jackson? Groin injury. Apparently, the MRI was saying that it's severe. Um, Suffered the groin injury in the Miami game. It was late in that game. Had the MRI on Monday and revealed the extent of the groin injury, and it looks like it was pretty bad. Therefore, out for the remainder of the season and was placed on IR. But yeah, groin injury. And you know those don't feel good at all. But and then to fill the roster spot, they activated guard Deonte Brown, which is a name I know a lot of people have mentioned about wanting to give a shot to Deonte Brown, the guard on the offensive line. He had been dealing with a knee injury, but he's been activated and he is designated to return from IR. So we may see Deonte Brown get a shot. We might see him getting a shot. I still have no idea why the heck they I don't know why the heck they put what's his face? Brady Christensen at left guard. I don't know why the heck they did that. If we lose to the Falcons after the bye week and lose to the Saints and Bucks, also, I hate to say it, but I don't see Cam back next year. I don't either, to be honest. I don't either. Because what does that mean? It means that not enough was really done to really warrant him getting an extension. And of course, we all know that Cam wants a multi-year deal. Ace says, Blitz report has come out that the Panthers are extremely interested in drafting cornerback Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett, the guy from Pittsburgh? Huh. The guy from Pittsburgh. Well, I mean, what do you guys think of that? I mean, looking at his stats, the dude is having quite a year. 67.7 completion percentage, 314 out of 464, 4,066 yards, 40 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, been sacked 26 times, has a QBR of 81.8. Wowzers. And the team currently is first in the ACC, and they're ranked 17th with a record of 10-2. Have a record of 10-2. Honestly, looking at his stats and looking at the team, he has had a Heisman type year. At least he is used to getting sacked. Ouch. Jericho says, I will have to look at his highlights. Yeah, same here. But 6'3", 220 pounds. I mean, shoot. And you look at the previous seasons, and is a big improvement. I mean, had a pretty good 2020. Had an okay 2020, 2019. Sacked a whole lot in 2018, but he's blown up this season. But yeah, 40 touchdowns. I mean, hey. And then on the ground, he has 410 carries or attempts for 789 yards rushing, 19 touchdowns total. This is his rushing career. And this year alone, he's had 91 attempts for 221 yards and 4 touchdowns. He had 8 touchdowns in 2020. So, what's his name? The one they're talking about drafting? Kenny Pickett, senior quarterback from the Pittsburgh Panthers. Kenny Pickett. But yeah, his stats are on ESPN.com. But yeah, number 8. 6'3", 220 pounds. But that's interesting. I mean, hey. I could dig it. I could dig it. Let me look at Sam Howell right quick. Let me look at Sam Howell. Sam Howell. 62.7% completion percentage. 2,851 yards passing. 23 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Ooh, but he's been sacked a lot. Sacked 43 times. Jeez. Oh, shoot. He has 815 rushing yards and 11 touchdowns? Wow. Dang, that's a lot. That's a lot. But Carolina, the Tar Heels are 6-6 right now. So, I mean, they've been kind of up and down. Kevin McFarland, welcome to the stream. Do you think we are going to play great football after the bye? Whew. Honestly, with how we've been playing, we might get lucky and win 2 games, but I'm not convinced that we will bounce back. I'm not convinced, if I can be honest. I know the season isn't over statistically, but I don't think we're going to bounce back. I'm not confident that we will. Do you think we could get Kenny Pickett at round 2? Doubt it. I highly doubt it. I mean, it depends on the needs of the other teams, but I doubt it. I doubt we would land somebody like that in the second round. I highly doubt it. I doubt it. Do you think Matt Rule will go all out in the Atlanta game, maybe score 40 points to save his job? Scoring 40 points in Atlanta would not be enough to save his job. I think winning out or getting at least 4 wins, 3 maybe borderline, 2 not enough. We would have to win 3 to 4 games or 3 games or more for possibly Matt Rule to save his job. I think it has to be 3 or more. Either we play great or quit at this point. No, we can't quit. Can't quit. Got to play hard every game, no matter what. I mean, after all, we got to take each game one at a time. But can't quit. Can't quit. I really want a quarterback that can run, but Kenny Pickett looks like a beast. Well, I mean, He has a little something with the run. No, because the Steelers is most likely looking at a quarterback and apparently like Kenny Pickett too. Oh yeah, that's another one. That's a good point. Steelers, you know, they're definitely going to want a quarterback. Ben Roethlisberger, his time is almost up. That's a good point, Ace. Big Ben. I mean, looking at the teams, shoot. Pittsburgh's probably going to want a quarterback. Indeed. Let's see. Y'all think maybe Seattle? No, well, nah, probably not. Probably not Seattle. Washington's iffy because Taylor Heineke looks like maybe their guy going forward. I don't know. I feel like the Steelers are probably the most obvious. So yeah, so it's a good point. Kevin says, I did hear some good stuff in the Matt Rule press conference, but I know we can put on a great performance and we good in third down. It's up to Matt Rule at this point. Yeah. I mean, we just gotta execute. We just gotta execute. Ace says Eagles like Malik Willis, but if Jalen Hurts continues to play well, then they most likely are not going to draft quarterback. Yeah, that's a good point. Because I think this is only Jalen's second year? So yeah, I think this is only Jalen's second year. So yeah. How do you feel at tight end? I mean, we don't use our tight ends. Because I like Tommy Tremble. I would love for Tommy Tremble to be our number one, but we don't use our tight ends. Ian Thomas. I like them both, but we don't use our tight ends, so I really can't say anything good. Or I feel like the tight end position is non-existent because we don't use them, Kevin. We don't use them. So, Giants might also draft a quarterback. Really? But they have Daniel Jones. I don't know. I thought they got Daniel Jones. He's only in his third year. He's only in his third year. Who is our third down guy? Greg Olson. Maybe Tommy Tremble can be the third down guy. I like Tommy Tremble. I know he's he's gotten a couple of opportunities. He scored from the red zone before, and he can block, he can catch. I like him. I really like him. I just feel like we don't use our tight ends like we should, and it sucks. One of Cam Newton's biggest successes in the receiving game, in the passing game, was he had Greg Olson. He had Greg Olson. Because of Cam Newton, Greg Olson got 3 1,000-yard receiving seasons in a row. Carolina Jeff says, no way, the Giants draft a quarterback. Yeah, I agree. Daniel Jones is only in his third year. It's only his third year. I think that would be pretty drastic for them to draft a quarterback. Daniel Jones has been inconsistent. I mean, yeah, he could be better, but I mean, I still think it's kind of early. I still think it's a little early. I mean, after all, look at what happened with Joe Burrow, and right now Joe Burrow is balling. Bengals are 7-4. You know, Joe Burrow had the bad injury. He's back, and the Bengals are balling. You know, it's I don't know. Like, I just feel like it would be a little too early. Just a little too early. 30, I think it's just a little too early. Just a little too early. Jarrett Cole says, if we get Eric Bieniemy, will that make Deshaun Watson come to a decision to get signed with the Carolina Panthers? Or if not, I can see Eric drafting his own quarterback. The only way I see Deshaun Watson coming to Carolina is we fix that O-line. He's not going to come here if he's going to get killed. Deshaun Watson is not going to come here unless we fix that O-line. It's not going to happen unless we fix that O-line. I'll go back to the stat. I'll go back to the stat that I've said before. In his entire Texans career, Deshaun Watson has been sacked 174 times. 62 of those times were in 2018. He is not going to come to a team with a busted O-line. I'm telling you, he's not going to come to a team with a busted O-line. Think about it. He's been sacked 174 times in his whole career with Houston. All right, Cam Newton. Cam Newton has been sacked 293 times playing for Carolina alone. This doesn't include the 31 times he was sacked with New England. Deshaun Watson's not going to come to a busted O-line. I can tell you that right now. He's not going to come to a busted O-line. True race, but drafting a quarterback's a clear message. You don't want to go down that road too early. Agreed. First-round quarterbacks usually get 3 years to show what they can do. Daniel Jones has shown nothing but inconsistency. That's a fair argument. That is a fair argument. Let me see something. Let me see something. And what it comes down to, it Ace makes a good point, because I mean, look at their records. Look at their records these last 3 years with the Giants. So I mean, it's a fair point. I mean, in 2019, 4-12. In 2020, 6-10. And right now, they're 4-7. So Ace makes a fair point. Mactown Tony, welcome. Rip. RIP 704. Yes. All right. May he rest in peace. 704. True legend. Oh, no, not Dante, too. This is looking bad. Yeah. No chance to make the playoffs now. It's looking very, very slim. We're not statistically out of it, but it's looking really slim. Really slim. Because, I mean, we now have no J.C. Horn and no Dante Jackson. So, yeah. I'd rather draft a quarterback than be without a first-round pick for the next 3 years. It's a fair argument as well. Carolina Jeff says, only 2 things that can get Watson to come to Carolina. A good O-line or a free lifetime member at our finest massage parlor. Ouch. Ouch. If Desean doesn't want a bad offensive line, then Miami might not be the place for him. Because I know a lot of people are campaigning for Deshaun Watson, but with a busted O-line, it's not going to make that big of a difference. I mean, we brought back Cam Newton with still said busted O-line. So, yeah. And then, another issue, with Christian McCaffrey, now it's so bad that, we're gonna have to ride his contract out because the dead cap is too big. 26 million, too big. He's not going to Miami to win. He wants to party at South Beach. Ouch. Dang. I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Dolphins. Going to have a NFL special on the NFL Network. I am done in Houston, and I would like to take my talents, my abilities, yo, to South Beach and join the Miami Dolphins and play with Tua and Jalen Waddle. But yeah, it's gonna be a very interesting offseason. Blitz, do you watch any other sports? I do catch NBA sometimes. I'm a Mavericks fan, but oh man, don't get me started on the Dallas Mavericks, man. I love Luka, but we need some better support on our team. I'm sorry, Porzingis sucks. Porzingis is way too inconsistent. THJ is inconsistent. I'm not a fan of Maxi Kleber. Like we just need a flat out overhaul of the team and keep Luka, but Luka needs some help. I'm sorry, but the only other player that I like is Dorian Finney-Smith. I do like him. Jalen Brunson. I think Jalen Brunson is awesome. I like him. I like Trey Burke. But I'm sorry, Tim Hardaway Jr., who we gave an extension to, I just don't think he's consistent. And Porzingis, I'm sorry, but that dude is not consistent. He hasn't been the same since the Knicks injury. He hadn't been the same. Ace says, I love my Hornets, but Luka is my favorite player in the NBA right now. Yeah, Hornets, they're doing well so far this season. Well, they're 13-10, third in the Southeast Division. But, I mean, hey. I mean, they're definitely up there in the seeding, 6th seed. I mean, Hornets will probably make it to the playoffs this season. I think the Hornets will definitely make it to the playoffs. I'm really shocked that Dallas is the 4th seed right now because they're not playing like it. They're not playing like it, if you ask me. That's just me personally, but they're not playing like it. In your honest opinion, Jason, how many years you think it will be before this team can make another 2015 Super Bowl run? Ooh. Hopefully before I die on this earth. Honestly, 3 to 4 years. I'm going to say 3 to 4 years. That's my prediction, Super Trebo. 3 to 4 years. Matt Town Tony, did CMC have those 1,000 yards rushing and receiving before or after we got Joe Brady? Before. Remember, we got Joe Brady last year. Yeah, we got Joe Brady last year. And remember, Christian McCaffrey was out. 2019 was the season that he got the 1,000. But yeah, that was before Joe Brady. If you said before, well, that should tell you about the state of our offense is now. Oh yeah, agreed. Mactown Tony, agreed. But yeah, he had the 1,000 before Joe Brady. Ace says, if y'all do not give Luka some help, it's going to be just like when Kevin Garnett left the Timberwolves even. Facts. And Luka is a stud, and the dude is young, so he's got a long career ahead of him. I mean, shoot, even LeBron James wanted to scoop up Luka. And LeBron James, that's Luka's favorite player. And LeBron wanted to definitely scoop him up. But just, Luka has a lot of years. He's only 22 years old, so he has a lot of years ahead of him. But, I mean, on our roster, like I said, the only people I like on our roster, I like Jalen Brunson, I like Trey Burke, I like Dorian Finney-Smith. Those are pretty much the only ones that I like next to Luka. But yeah, Mavericks, they need help. I'm surprised that we're the 4th seed right now. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. And first in the Southwest Division, I find it hard to believe, but it's true. Super Tribo says, that sounds about right, Jason. I was thinking 3 to 4 years. Remember, Ron, 5th year, he took the Panthers to the Super Bowl. And his 3rd year, first playoff appearance, and the Panthers started 1-3 that year, 2013. I say 3 to 4 years also. Yeah, facts. He says, I hate to say this, but Damian is too loyal. He might retire without a ring. Oh, Damian Lillard? Yeah, that's another one. Extremely talented, but I just think he's on the wrong team. Either he's on the wrong team or just the personnel is just not there. But yeah, Damian Lillard, he's another one. Great player. Very talented, but yeah, he might want to move on from Portland. I think it takes us 2 to 3 years to be Super Bowl contenders. So Ace says 2 to 3. Okay. But gonna take about 10 more minutes for some more questions. So if y'all have more questions, fire them off. But yeah, I'm gonna keep this going for about maybe another 10, maybe 15 minutes. But yeah, fire off some more questions if you like. I once again appreciate y'all's participation. Y'all are the best. Y'all have no idea how the best y'all are. But and like I said, shout outs to Panther Nation podcast, Rashad and Dave, for helping to provide direction on the status of Christian McCaffrey's contract. Like I said, that was very, very important, very insightful, because like I said, the previous video, I was kind of on board with trading him, but looking at his contract now, nope, can't do it. I take back what I said. But yeah, a couple of things we got to figure out here, y'all. Got to figure out the secondary going into this Atlanta game now that we have no J.C. Horn and no Dante Jackson. Looks like, the depth chart says Stefan, Gilmore, and A.J. Bouye, but we'll have to see what they decide with. See what they decide with. Christian McCaffrey is out for the season, so I expect to see some carries split between Chuba Hubbard and Amir Abdullah. Deontay Brown's been activated, so we'll see if he sees any action. The offensive line's been inconsistent, so Cam or PJ, somebody do something. Somebody make some plays on offense. Robbie Anderson, Terrace Marshall, Shi Smith, where y'all at? What's up, David Screws? Hopefully we can win the last 5 games. I would love to see that, but I think it would take a big, gigantic miracle. it would have to be the biggest miracle ever. If honestly, shoot, if we won five straight and made it to the playoffs, shoot, I think everybody's job would probably be safe. Honestly, like if we came out of the bye and won five straight, that's gotta lock in everybody at least for another year, I would think. And I don't even like Joe Brady and not too big of a fan of Matt Rule. But if we won five straight and made it to the playoffs, that's gotta seal it. As much as I hate to say that. Super Trebo says about Christian McCaffrey, what are your thoughts of him becoming a slot receiver like his dad and helping prolong his career? I think he would be awesome at slot receiver. I think so too. I think that's a good idea. I know a couple of people, we've talked about this. Good idea, but it's going to have to come down to the offensive coordinator. Joe Brady has to make it happen. Joe Brady has to make it happen. I mean, Christian McCaffrey, I think he would be capable of doing that. I mean, obviously, Christian McCaffrey has the speed, he has the route running, he has the hands, but it has to be on the offensive coordinator to make it happen. Joe Brady has to make it happen. Do I think he will? No, because I don't think he's smart enough to do that. But I would love to see him at slot receiver. I think it would be nice. Ace says, yeah, probably for one more year, but I get a vibe from David that he is done with Joe. Yeah, that's not a bad thought. David Screw says the Giants did it and beat the unbeaten Patriots. Just saying. Yeah, this is facts. Facts. This is true. Is JJ Janssen actually retiring? That's tough. I mean, that's the only reason why I could see. That's the only reason that I think they drafted a long snapper in Thomas Fletcher. You know what I mean? Because I mean, JJ Janssen, I mean, the dude is 35 years old. And I think he only had a 1-year extension. But yeah, I mean, the dude is 35 years old. So it's possible. But I'm thinking that was where Thomas Fletcher came into the picture, which I mean was a bad pick personally. But long snapper, yeah. Anything is possible, but boy, is it unlikely. Two people on Twitter told me two different things about JJ. And JJ, shoot, he spent his whole career with Carolina, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think he spent his whole career. But yeah, I don't know, y'all. It's possible though. It's very possible. But we really need to do some serious game planning. Because like I said, we only got 2 home games left, which we've done terrible at home this year. We got 2 home games left, which are the Bucks and the Falcons. And then we have Bills, Saints, Bucks all on the road. This coaching staff needs to get to work and really get on the ball with game planning, starting with Atlanta. We've beaten them before. We've beaten them in their house. But we pretty much have to win out. in order for us to even have a chance. I don't see it happening, but we have to win out. We have to win out. But the only games that I could see us winning, if I were to give my predictions for these last 5 games, the only teams I could see us winning are the Falcons and Saints. I don't think we beat the Bills, and I don't think we beat the Bucs. The Bucs struggled a little bit. They've struggled some, but I don't think it's going to be enough to turn things in our favor. And the Bills, I mean, like I said, with the Bills, I mean, Bills are 7-4. And for the most part, the Bills have been pretty healthy for the most part. Buffalo Bills don't have a lot of people on their injury list. I mean, Tre'Davious White was a big blow, but honestly, they don't have a lot on their injury list. So I think the most I could see is maybe we'll beat the Saints and the Falcons. But the other 3 games, doubt it. Super Treybo says, I think the game against Atlanta will tell what happens rest of the year. If Panthers lose to the Falcons, I see them going downhill again. If they win, they might hit a little win streak, I think. Possibly. We'll see. Carolina Jeff says, I love my team, but there's no way we winning out. I'm going to have to agree. Alrighty, Jarrett Cole, thanks for stopping by. Always good to see you. Brian Eves, please forgive me if I said your name wrong, but welcome to the stream. Cam is like 4-0 against Tom Brady. Yeah, that streak is going to get broken. I hate to say it. That streak is going to get broken. Yeah, I think, unfortunately, that streak is going to get broken. Oh, I did say it right? Oh, okay. Cool. 8-win season, which I guess is respectable. I honestly think our team last year could beat our team this year. Yeah, probably. Probably. I mean, depending on that defense, but yeah, probably. Spartan Ghost, cool name. Welcome to the stream. They can have Burns even if he's a good player. Oh, you would trade Brian Burns? You would trade Brian Burns? Should Chen move back to linebacker? Oh, to that linebacker / nickel spot? Ooh, that's a fair question. That's a fair question. I mean, if we do that, then we're going to have another hole at safety, which, I mean, if we do that, then I'm guessing the time is going to come where we're going to, I guess, need to consider giving Kenny Robinson a shot at one of the safety positions, and we're going to have to hit safety in free agency or in the draft. If we move Jeremy Chin back to nickel / linebacker, that's the only thing that I could see. But I think doing that leaves a big hole at the safety positions. Because I'm sorry, Juston Burris, I don't think is it. I don't think Juston Burris is it. Ace says Brian Burns is way too important. I agree. I agree. He's a very important piece of that D line, especially on the edge, because on the interior we haven't really been good in the interior. Is Rule trying to get fired to go back to college? Maybe. Maybe. But I don't know. David Tepper might still give him one more year. He might actually give him one more year. But I think it's really going to depend on how these 5 games go. Carolina Jeff says, this is so sad. I can't even get excited about a win right now because every win is a step closer for Rule's return as our head coach. I just want to start over with someone new. And that's totally understandable. Totally understandable. Totally understandable. Brian Burns and Hassan helps everything mesh on defense. And they've been, they've been killers on defense. Hassan Reddick on his way to a Pro Bowl. I don't think Brian Burns will make it in, but he might get close. But Hassan Reddick definitely is going to the Pro Bowl. Brian Eve says, I hate to say this, but Run CMC may need to be traded to retrieve 2nd and 3rd round picks back. Here's the problem, Brian. The dead cap we would eat. If we trade him, we eat $26,638,000 in dead cap. And even if we do it next year, we eat $12,828,500 in dead cap. We can't trade him. I thought about it and was on board with it a day ago until I looked into his contract. Shout outs to Rashad and Dave of the PNP. And once I saw his contract, we can't trade him. That's too much dead cap to eat. $26 million, that's too much dead cap. That's way too much. I mean, thankfully we did restructure his contract and such, because it would have been much bigger if we hadn't have done that. But yeah, that's too big of a dead cap. Carolina Jeff says, yeah, we can't trade him. Facts. A says it's possible coaches have purposely lost to get fired before. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. But yeah, we're gonna have to ride out CMC's contract. We're gonna have to ride it out, which that is at least up to 2025, and then Christian McCaffrey becomes an unrestricted free agent in 2026. So, yeah, we're gonna have to ride this contract. Chef 85, what's up? Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Fix this terrible offensive line. Agree, double, triple, a million times agree. Only one that graded out below average on Sunday at Miami was Moton with a 49. I mean, our offensive line has been very inconsistent. I mean, I don't know what happened that Cardinals game. We didn't give up a single sack that Cardinals game. I thought we had something starting to blossom when we moved Pat Elflein to center, but that didn't last long. So, yeah, we really need to dig deep into fixing this O-line. We need a steel wall of an O-line. We need a steel wall of an O-line. If Rule got fired, would we still have to pay him? I mean, probably. We signed him for seven years, and to let him go after the second year, it's possible. So I mean, we signed him for 7 years, which personally I thought was way too big of a contract. 7 years for Matt Rule, I thought was way too big. Spartan Ghost says Burns never gets the sack to be so important. Yes, he's a stud, but like Reddick over Burns. I wish Burns had a little more bulk. That's fair. That's fair. But I mean, Brian Burns was doing great even before we got Hassan Reddick. So I mean, he was the man when we got before Hassan Reddick came to the team. Chef 85 says trade down our next upcoming top 10 pick and reacquire the draft capital we lost in the Darnold move. Big question: do you roll with Darnold at $18.85 million or re-sign Cam in the offseason? Whew. I mean, either way, we're going to have to pay Sam Darnold either way. So, and Cam is going to want a multi-year contract. I mean, he's wanted that for a long time. So I mean, if it comes down to would I rather have Darnold or Cam, I mean, it's simple, Cam. But I still think we should draft a quarterback. I really do. I think we need to draft a quarterback. They usually double Brian because of his speed, and he still comes out with like 2 sacks. Yeah, this is true. I mean, they even tried doing that last season. So, but yeah, one way or another, I do agree, Chef, that we do need to get draft capital back. We definitely need to get draft capital back for sure. I mean, let me see. Let me see something. Right now, if the season ended right now, we would have the 12th pick. If the season ended right now, we would have the 12th pick. And here's the thing. Actually, no. No, I'm sorry. We would have the 10th pick. 10th. I'm sorry. We would have the 10th pick. I read that wrong. If the season ended right now, we would have the 10th pick. We'd have the 10th pick in the first round. Because looking at the draft order, Brian has 24 QB hurries. Ooh, that's a lot. That's a whole lot. Looking at the draft order, we have right now we would have the 10th pick in the first round. No picks in the second. No picks in the third. We have a pick in the fourth round. One pick in the fourth round. We would have two picks in the 5th round. We would have 1 pick in the 6th round and 1 pick in the 7th round. So in this upcoming draft, we have no 2nd and 3rd round picks. We have no 2nd and 3rd round picks. So that could be a big deal, y'all. We may need to try to get some of those picks back. Because, I mean, we have a 1st round, but we don't have a 2nd or a 3rd round pick. Chef 85 says, I thought we had something brewing with Pat F-line myself. The season turned so quickly. Honestly, I would fix the offensive line, and you have to roll with Darnold unless Cam resigns cheap here. I think the Darnold experiment is over. The dude makes bad decisions. Because there have been times where he's protected and has had time and has made the bad decision. I think the best we got out of Sam Darnold was the first 3 games of the season. I think that's the best we got out of Sam Darnold. And I think that's it. Sam just he's not it. He's not it. I would take a chance on re-signing Cam before I take another snap for Sam Darnold. I would re-sign Cam before I take another snap from Sam Darnold. I tried defending him. I can't anymore. Darnold is just not good. He's just not good. Yeah, I know we picked up his 5th-year option, so we got to pay him anyway, but he's just not good, y'all. He's not good. I know, like many others, were hoping that with the change of personnel, him getting out of New York, coming here, would be a big change, and it looked to start that way, but then it just came crashing down. Irving, F-line are easy cuts, dead money or not. Paradis is a unrestricted free agent. This is true. John Miller is as well. And then we do have a lot of 1-year contracts to look over as well. Darnold has 5th-year option already picked up. I agree Darnold is really bad, no doubt. Yeah. I mean, we tried. We tried with them. We were hopeful. We tried, but it just didn't work out. It didn't work out. I mean, I get the idea behind the attempt, but it just Ace says Sam is the definition of a bust, and I mean that in the most respectful way as possible. Yeah. I mean, he's not wrong. Let's take a look while I'm at it. Let's take a look at the Panthers' upcoming free agents. Okay. Chef 85 says, no question Cam nor Darnold are the long-term answers. Sad how bad things are. Is Darnold worth anything on the trade market? I would say no at this point. Facts. Sam got something not many people in the NFL get, and that's a second chance as a starter. Facts. So take a look at this, y'all, or I'm going to go through this. So upcoming free agents: Stefan Gilmore, Matt Paradis, Cam Newton, Hassan Reddick, Daquan Jones, Justin Burris, Trenton Scott, J.J. Janssen, Dante Jackson, John Miller, Frankie Louvu, Julian Stanford, Rashawn Melvin, Matt Barkley, Alex Erickson, Brandon Zylstra, Sean Chandler, Ian Thomas, PJ Walker, Marquise Haynes, Jermaine Carter, Giovanni Ricci, Mike Panaswick, Colin Thompson, and Matt Kasky. Those are all of your upcoming free agents for 2022. Those are your free agents. Out of all of these, out of everybody on here, the restricted free agent is PJ Walker, and the exclusive restricted free agents are Giovanni Ricci, Mike Panaswick, Colin Thompson, and Matt Kasky. Aside from that, everybody else is an unrestricted free agent. Chef 85 says Dante Jackson is a goner. He will want top cornerback money, and he is a solid number 2, but not a number 1. Daquan Jones has faded as well, and not the answer at the nose. But then again, neither is Bravion Roy. How do you feel about Derrick Brown? A lot of folks are saying Derrick Brown's a bust now. A lot of folks are saying that Derrick Brown is a bust. But yeah, looking at this list, I would love to keep Stefan Gilmore. I would love to keep Hassan Reddick. Cam Newton, but it depends on money. Frankie Louvu, I would love. I mean, those are just a couple of folks that I would consider re-signing. Stefan Gilmore, possibly Cam Newton. Hassan Reddick is a definite. And Frankie Louvu. I think those are definitely ones I would strongly consider re-signing. I mean, Ian Thomas, I don't know how many more chances Ian Thomas is going to get. He might be done. Well, we did get Derrick Brown to defend the run. So far, he has been a bust. Let me look at Derrick Brown's stats. I'm curious. It's his second year. Last year he had 34 tackles, 21 of them solo, 2 sacks, 4 passes deflected. This year he's had 31 total tackles, 19 of them solo, 2 sacks, 4 passes deflected. I mean, so far his numbers are very similar to last season. Yeah, his numbers are similar to last season. But it is too early to tell. Yeah, but the numbers are very similar. The numbers are similar. But yeah, the free agency situation. This is going to be interesting. And then if we want to go even further, free agency for 2023, Sam Darnold, Cameron Irving, Morgan Fox, AJ Bouye, Brian Burns, DJ Moore, Michael Jordan, Kamal Martin, Sam Franklin, Dennis Daly, Miles Hartsfield, Sam Tecklenburg, Daryl Johnson, and Kenny Robinson. Those are the 2023 free agents. So lots of contracts to sort out. Yes, David, very true. A lot to sort out. So we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what happens. But yeah, this is gonna be a very interesting offseason. I mean, we got all these free agents coming up. The draft. I mean, for the draft, we only got picks in the first, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh rounds. We don't have picks in the second and third rounds. David Screws says, I think we need to sign Cam for a 2-year deal. It could happen. It could happen. But we got a lot to figure out. We got a lot to figure out. Oh, man. But we'll see how this weekend's games play out during this bye. We'll go from there. Anyway, thank y'all so much for joining today. Thank you for the likes. I really, really appreciate it. It's sad how we started 3-0 and now we're at the bottom of the barrel. Yeah. Started 3-0, now we're 5-7. Only two wins at home. 2 wins at home. We can't even protect home field. So the only thing that we can hope for is this team comes out of the bye fired up, re-energized, and we try our best to make one final run. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be tough, but we'll see. Anyway, for those that haven't, like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know when I stream and release videos. But thank y'all so much for all the love, all the support, all the likes, all the chatting. I love hearing from y'all. I love hearing your opinions. I love hearing you share. Goes a long way. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Always nice chatting with you, Blitz. Keep pounding indeed. Chef says re-signing Luvu would be the only guy I would keep off of that list of unrestricted free agents. Oh. So you would make him a restricted free agent, I guess? You're saying in general. In general. Yeah, Frankie Luvu, I think he's played well. He's made some good plays. I mean, he made a play in the Miami game, so I think he's definitely worth keeping. Thankfully, we still got Zane. We'll still have Zane in the kicking game, so that we got our kicker. If anything, we know we got our kicker. Zane. Zane might be the second coming of Graham Gano. Let me check one last thing. How old is Zane? I'm kind of curious. How old is Zane? One more thing. I'm curious. Zane is 26. Oh, he's young. He's young. He's only 26 years old. Shoot. Oh, yeah, we keeping him. Derrick Brown needs someone to groom with him. I think Brown can be solid next year. Next year will be a telling year for him. I enjoyed Davion Nixon, and Derrick Brown. Also, keeping Reddick is a must. Keeping Reddick is a must. I miss that unrestricted UFA. Oh yeah. Keep Zane. Very good kicker. Facts. Highly agree. But yeah, Zane's only 26. So he's worth keeping. But we'll see what this. Glad we got rid of the Super Mario kicker. LOL. Oh, Ryan Santoso. Oh man. Yeah. Ryan Santoso. Yeah. He was. Yeah. Yeah, he was bad. But anyway, hope this coaching staff can get it together and we can get back on track. But we'll see how these final 5 games go. But look forward to doing the preview of the Atlanta Falcons' second meeting. We beat them the first time. Hope we can beat them again. But let's see what happens this weekend with the teams that are playing. But anyway, I'm your host, Jason Ingram, Blitzball Champ of Blitzball Champ Gaming, bringing you this live edition of Carolina Panthers Talk. I hope everybody has a blessed day. Enjoy your day. I'm going to go rest up, and I will see y'all very soon. Thank you. I love y'all. No matter what happens, keep pounding. We're going to get through this. Talk to y'all soon. Peace.